All right, guys, it's your boy Vari, and you know what we're talking about? Back to school. Yeah. Now don't get too worried though. Don't get worried. Look, I know I just said the scariest thing for a lot of you because I know you're starting school back in a couple weeks. So, to all my high school freshmen out there, and some of you eighth graders and potentially sophomores, this is gonna be my own personal survival guide to how I got through high school as someone that had switched schools, had switched states, and switched cities. So and I started from fucking zero to maybe an anti-hero. Nah, I'm kidding. But this is just gonna be some things. I'm just gonna cover a bunch of shit within 10 to 15 minutes, so as long as I don't ramble. So let's start off with social things. Now, when it comes to it, it's like the first few days, you gotta really get a lay of the land. You gotta understand what the fuck is gonna look like when you walk into a lunchroom, when you walk inside of your orientation. You gotta be on the lookout. You gotta just read people, right? You gotta see who's new friends, who's old friends. Like, oh, let's look like maybe potential friends, what seems like enemies, rivals, etc., etc. Maybe thinking, oh my god, did this nigga just say rivals? Now, yes, I know that sounds a little bit corny. I forgot to turn that on. Now, yes, that sounds a little corny, but that actually is pretty fucking true. I'm not saying you're gonna have like arch nemesis or anything. Like, this isn't a Sonic game. This is like, you're not gonna find your shadow or anything, or But I'm saying, But the thing is, I'm just saying this is just more like understanding that when the first bell rings, you're gonna be thrown into like a jungle of sorts, right? I gotta stay hydrated, kids. So you gotta just see what's get a lay of the land, to stay within your new friend group. But if you're someone that doesn't have a friend group, like I was, like me for example, then you're gonna have to just use your own personality. You gotta apply yourself. Trust me. When it comes to this, being a scaredy bitch isn't gonna really get you anywhere. You have to apply yourself, and you have to show who you are as a person. You have to show to every motherfucker that is out there who you are, what you come with, and what the fuck you're packing. Pause. Jesus. But I'm not saying that you have to come. Now, I'm not saying you need to absolutely run in that bitch, guns blazing, Rambo style. But I'm saying is that, for the first few days, kind of, stealthily just see you shit out, kind of be like a ninja or whatnot, right? And kind of just get a lay of the land. Now, when it comes to dating and whatnot, dating is something that if you feel comfortable doing, then do it. And I think you will probably at least trying to date will be something great. Now, when it comes to it, one of my a mentor of mine when I was in high school, I'm just gonna call him K for right now. Like, he told me like a good tip. Now, I don't really subscribe to this tip, but I think it's still a good one that I will still tell y'all. He told me don't date women or people in the school, don't date people in your school district or really just at your high school, mainly to just deal with it. Like, if you have a falling out with this person, you don't have to constantly see that motherfucker every day. Or it's like if they reject you, then it's like, damn, man, it's that. You're gonna hate seeing that individual, right? Like, oh my god. Now, I did not listen to that rule, and I got rejected twice. Do I really care? And honestly, I barely saw one of them. Ended up moving, and then I barely saw the other one. Either she started doing more online classes. No, she dual enrolled. She did like dual enrollment where she would go to community college. But anyways, so I mean, you can take that, as I said, with a bit of a grain of salt, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't adhere to it a teeny bit. But personally, I think you can just, if you want to abide by that rule, then abide by it. Some people don't, some people do. It's up to personal preference with you. But the thing is, date everybody you can, and date people who you think you are willing to date, right? Date guys, date girls, date whatever, bro. Like, motherfucker, date an avatar, my nigga. Like, it's 2025, bro. If people are gonna fucking care, man, people are fucking assholes regardless. Like, and people are dickheads whether or not you like girls, guys, and everything in between. So now when it comes to it, and when it comes to like sexuality and shit like that, if that's something you need to figure out while you're in high school, then fine, take a break. Don't bother dating them. But if it's something you want to figure out while doing it through relationships, try to make sure if you're gonna end the relationship, do it properly. You don't want to cause friction or some kind of meltdown through it. All right, I'm not saying high school should be a place to really find yourself, because for a lot of people, that's going to be the primary place you find yourself for the rest of your life. That's where who you are as a person and like your absolute core is going to be. And besides, like, there's nowhere else on the place that allows you to really find that compared to, anywhere else. Maybe college is the only other place, but that's only if you play your cards right. That's only if you either manage to you plan on going to college, then you can do it there. But if you don't plan on college, then do it now. Do it in high school. Do it as soon as you walk in for, like, as a ninth grader. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. Now, when it comes to being like a weirdo or like being bullied and stuff like that, like, look, people gonna be mean to you. People gonna be dickheads, gonna try to say crazy shit to you. Trust me, my nigga. I used to have, like, trust me, I went to a white ass high school where people was constantly being like, I had to deal with racism on the fucking regular. Trust me. And because of like people, annoying white kids asking me, oh, bro, can I say the N-word? I'm like, fuck no. And if you're a white person watching this, trust me, stop asking black people if you can say the N-word. We're not gonna let you say yes. All right, please. All right, trust me. People are gonna be mean, and people are not gonna like you. If people do, all right. If there's, like, trust me. And when it comes to people trying to bully you, bro, just fucking ignore them. Trust me. The more you can learn to ignore them than to actually because one, bullies are just trying to get a rise out of you. At the end of the day, like, they're virtually just It's like the fucking prehistoric form of rage bait, dog. If you let them win, then you're a loser for letting them win. Trust me. Not trust me. Now, when it comes to relationships with, like, schoolwork and whatnot, and teachers and coaches, if you are a student athlete, listen up here very closely. Work with teachers that you tend to do shitty in terms of grades. Trust me, you'll learn this by your first semester or second semester, first semester freshman year. You already know which classes you don't perform well in, and you got to work with those teachers who are going to be problem spots. And make sure, if you're gonna do not pick electives that could fuck you over. Because imagine being the motherfucker that can't play football on fucking, on senior night or whatever, or on homecoming, because your dumbass forgot to fucking finish, a pot, a fucking clay pot. Trust me, you do not want to be that guy. I didn't play sports throughout high school, but trust me, no one wants to be that fucking idiot. Now, when it comes to the rest of us who aren't student athletes, primarily, if you do suck at a specific subject, for example, say math, that's a pretty common one. Work with that teacher specifically, and it doesn't need to be like you gotta constantly go into like the math labs or tutoring or one-on-one. But it's just more like, if you work with them, then they're gonna be more willing to maybe give you more leniency, or maybe give you more time on an assignment or a project or whatever. Trust me, they will so benefit you in the long run if you learn to just do this type of thing and just willing to communicate with your teachers. And trust me, if there's one group of people you do not want to burn bridges with, it is your fucking teachers. Burning bridges with these people are going to make your entire high school life hell. Hell, I tell you. So trust me, don't be an idiot and don't do this. And then depending on how much that teacher likes you, you may be able to, if you're like upperclassman or something, you may be able to just leave class early if you're an upperclassman. Like, it's like the last period of the day. You ask your teacher, yo, can I leave like 10 minutes early? I gotta do something. And you just make up a bullshit reason. Dude, they might just let you do it, bro, I swear. And they might just let you do it, honestly. Now, trust me. Now, for me, I low-key was decent at this, but one of the main things is, in terms of like relationship with teachers, is showing that you actually give a fuck and you're trying. Especially in classes you are historically not good at, or you're not good at, it will basically make it like 3 times easier to actually end up passing that one class you do not perform well in. If you show them that you give a fuck and that you respect them, they will respect you, I swear. And in terms of like getting people to like you and whatnot, honestly, the golden rule is so important. Like, to treat others how you want to be treated. Like, don't be mean to your teachers, don't be mean to people, and people will not be mean to you back. It is actually so fucking true. It's like the gold, like, things that like people have been telling you for 5 years, like throughout middle school and elementary school. Like, it sounds so rudimentary, but it's like, it's purely fucking gold. Hey Google, change my to purple. It's genuinely just fucking gold. It's just pure gold. It's like, you cannot fucking miss if you understand those type of strategies to allow you to just kind of do what you need to do without really having, a wrench thrown in your plans. Now, when it comes to, what's it called? Now, obviously, people are going to have fun. You're going to go to parties if you're social enough to do that. And you might be invited to one. Now, when it comes to it, I'm not here to I'm not your fucking dad, I'm not your fucking mom. I'm not. But the thing is, one, I'm not here to condone drug use. I'm not here to saying anyone here should illegally drink alcohol, smoke marijuana, do anything of the sort. I'm not here to say I do not condone that. You should not do this. I'm not saying you're gonna do this. I'm not saying you will do this. Okay? Because peer pressure is a fucking thing. Now, I'm someone that does not break very easily to peer pressure, and I really don't. I've never been peer pressured into doing something. Trust me, learning to be resistant to peer pressure could possibly save your fucking life. Okay? And if you are not confident in a ride, bro, man, you better make sure you have an emergency ride to the crib. If you're not willing to stay the night at that person's house. And when it comes to substances, please. Now, YouTube, as I said earlier, I do not condone anything, but for the love of Christ, kids, if you're gonna drink, I'm not saying you should. Do not drink, please. But if you're gonna be stupid and dumb and idiotic to consider drinking alcohol, right, to be dumb enough to do alcohol, then please just remember the main thing is, one, eat before you drink water to sober, and please hand somebody your car keys if you own a car, have a license. Please do not drive drunk, do not drive high, do not drive intoxicated or under the influence of any substances, because you are being an asshole. You are an asshole that could cost somebody their fucking life. Millions of people, thousands upon thousands of people have lost sisters, brothers, family members, cousins, etc. because some asshole wants to get into a car and drive drunk or under the influence of any substance. Now, when it comes to, if you're gonna do drugs, the only thing I would say is that in high school, I'd only really fuck with smoking weed or drinking alcohol. Trust me, you do not want to really try anything stronger than that. The only other thing I would say, I'm not recommending you do this, but if you're gonna be dumb, I'm just gonna say be dumb properly. But anyways, it's maybe like psychedelics like shrooms or SID or acid, for if you don't know, LSD. But as I said, YouTube, I do not condone this. I have not done any of these things I have just said. So, when it comes to sexual relations, people use fucking condoms. Condoms will be the most important fucking thing. Listen to me. Condoms will be something that, please, just wrap it up before you tap it up. Please. I don't want to, trust me. And if I live in the United States, and you're probably an American watching this, you may not have, just because you don't have the ability to, what's it called? Just because you have the ability to get an abortion doesn't mean someone else does. Trust me. Please don't be stupid, okay? And especially right at the current moment in our political climate, the access and the ability to get abortions is getting worse and worse by the day. So I don't want you to be stupid and fuck somebody raw, and then you end up having to become a teenage father in 10th grade. Trust me, it becomes significantly harder to either graduate or overall just have a fucking life or a future once these type of things happen. Please. And if you're for the love of Christ, if you're a freaky ass nigga in high school, please make sure that you use lube and make sure it has a flared base. Do not want to be in the ER. You do not want to be the guy in the ER. You do not want to be that guy in the ER that got something stuck in your ass. All right. YouTube, as I just said, it's not this. I don't condone anything I've just talked about. I'm just trying to be educational here. This is for educational purposes, and this is trying to keep my viewers safe, or hopefully you guys are safe. Stay safe. When it comes to DDs, designated drivers, for the love of Christ, always have 2 primary DDs. At least have a designated driver, or have a backup just in case the DD is an idiot. Now, if you are going to be the DD, for the love of fucking Christ, do not fucking consume a substance. If you're gonna do it, I'm not saying you should. As I just said, YouTube, do not fuck. I'm not condoning this. If you're gonna be stupid, do it at the start of the fucking hangout or party or whatever. So then by the time you guys have to leave, you'll hopefully be sobered up enough to, do this. YouTube, do not do this. Do not drive drunk. Please don't. Now, I won't lie to you. One, when it comes to mental health, please, if you need someone, just talk to them. I understand. I cannot lie to you. One, mental health is super important, and I hope you do not ignore your own mental health for the long run. Because one, doing all sorts of self-destructive habits like drugs, self-harm, and etc. cannot be a good thing. Trust me. I've known a lot of people who did self-harm at some point in their lives. Now, I've been lucky enough to mentally be stable enough to not do mental harm, mainly for the fact that I think primarily for me, it's just I never felt the need to do that. Like, even though I've had negative thoughts, but the thing is, I've never had the thought of genuinely, committing something, committing suicide. Disclaimer warning for that. But as I said, look, just trust. You need to have someone that is a trusted adult, a friend, a family member, just somebody to talk to. Just trust me, because you are meaningful. Your life means something. Life is like a story. Do not end it. Do not end your fucking story on a cliffhanger. Please. Your life is meaningful. Please do not end it, and please do not do anything like that. Now, one thing I will say is, I understand that if you do not feel comfortable going to your school's mental health resources and whatnot, because honestly, I never felt comfortable doing it. I've always felt that they were just snitches. Even though I've never gone to a counselor to talk about stuff. But if you can see a therapist, and if your parents are willing to, please. And the parents out there, please don't invalidate your kid's mental health, because I don't want you to end up burying your own kid because you decided not to listen. Trust me, mental health is a very serious thing. And we're only just reaching the start of when it comes to detecting stuff, my nigga. So please. And I cannot lie to you, when it comes to friend groups, just know this, you're gonna lose friends, and you're gonna have a lot of breakups. You're gonna have a lot of negative things that happen over time. And honestly, you're just gonna lose friends, even if you're not the one at fault, because all the friends are friends. And so that's why I recommend, one of my biggest things in terms of social relationships with people is actually just staying neutral with everybody around you. If you decided to just stay neutral as possible, you're probably gonna minimize the amount of bullshit and drama that you'll get into. Even if it doesn't seem reasonable to do that, trust me, it is so fucking reasonable to do this. Please trust me on this. It is so much more reasonable when you think about it in the long run. All right, now I'm done with what I want to say. So stay hydrated, stay frosty, and you got this. You can do this. Don't procrastinate. Peace.